Hi, soul friends. It's Tannaz Hosseinpour, and welcome back to another short solo episode of the Minutes on Growth podcast. Today's episode is inspired by a moment that really stayed with me. Something I heard in an interview between Madonna, Jay Shetty, and Eitan Yardeni, a phenomenal Kabbalah teacher, on the On Purpose podcast with Jay Shetty. In it, Eitan shared a powerful analogy that resonated with me so deeply. I knew I had to bring it here and expand on it, not just through a spiritual lens, but also through the lens of psychology and personal development. So let's start this episode with the concept of the inner critic. We have all heard this voice in our head, the one that fears and doubts and criticizes. And if you've been on this journey of healing and personal development for a while, you've probably also asked yourself, how? How do I overcome this voice? How do I silence the inner critic? How do I stop the chatter that's probably not serving me? But Eitan suggests that we go deeper than just asking how, and instead to ask why. Why is it even there in the first place? What is its purpose? Because I truly believe, and it's also what Kabbalah teaches, is that everything has purpose. Even that annoying, persistent internal chatter, even the self doubt, even the fear. In the interview, he offered a sport analogy, a football or soccer, if you're a North American analogy, that I don't think I'm ever going to forget. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, what feels better, scoring into an empty net or scoring against an opponent? Take a moment to reflect on this. What do you think is going to feel better, scoring into an empty net or scoring against an opponent? And that hit home for me because I grew up playing football or soccer. I remember those childhood practices so clearly. It's one thing to shoot into an open goal, but when there is a goalie, when there is a defender coming at you, that's when you really step up, when you really learn. You dribble better, you move quicker, you develop skills, strategy, strength. The opponent makes you better. The opponent is one of the reasons you grow. The obstacle isn't in the way, it is the way. And not gonna lie, when I first started embarking on the personal development journey, I thought the goal was to fight my inner critic, to shut it down, to override it, to silence it. But over the years, that understanding has shifted. And the more I studied psychology and spirituality, the more I realized that when you fight something, it fights back. What you resist persists. What you fight grows. So instead, I learned to turn towards it, to get curious. When the chatter gets loud, I ask, what are you afraid of? What are you trying to protect me from? What skill do I need to strengthen here? What do I need to learn right now? Because just like in parts work in psychology, for example, IFS or schema therapy, every part of us, even the ones that feel like enemies, are actually trying to help us. Their methods might be outdated, their voices might sound harsh, but underneath it all, there is this protective intention. Sometimes that voice says, you're not ready. And maybe underneath it, it's scared that you're going to fail and be humiliated. So that's the underlying fear. Or maybe it says, it's not safe because a part of you was once deeply hurt or betrayed and it doesn't want to feel that pain again. So, what if we pause and we listened? What if we stopped fighting and resisting and we started to understand? For me, my healing work became infinitely deeper when I integrated both spirituality and psychology. Studying Kabbalah, for example, for over 12 years, it really did ground me spiritually. But adding in the somatic work, the nervous system regulation, the polyvagal theory, parts work, that gave me the language to understand what was happening inside my body, my brain, and not just my soul. And I want to say that there is no single path to healing. But for me personally, the most expansive growth has come from pulling from different lineages and weaving them together, finding what resonates. So today, if you're facing internal resistance, fear, or doubt, I want to leave you with this reminder of the voice is not your enemy, it's your opponent. And just like on the soccer field, the opponent is what is going to sharpen your skills. It's going to reveal where you still need to grow. It's going to show you the next layer of your healing. It's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to evolve you. This reframe can be so powerful because it allows us to be a co-creator of our life and how we're responding to that opponent. Because we cannot control the existence of challenges. It's impossible to have a challenge-free life, but we can choose how we meet them. We can choose to let them birth a higher version of us. Or we can choose to entertain the victim narrative that life is happening to me instead of for me. The opponent is here for my highest good. Again, to reveal where I still need to grow, to show me the next layer of my healing. Because remember, the goal isn't to have a challenge-free life. The goal is to be able to meet life's challenges with grace, with tools. And this is where psychology comes in, with devotion to our growth. Thank you so much for spending these minutes with me today. If this episode resonated, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs a reminder that their inner chatter has meaning if we allow it to. And as always, keep growing, keep feeling, and keep choosing your healing. Until next time.